Hey there, and welcome to your March 2025 astrology forecast for all 12 signs. This is what I feel is probably the most intense month of the year. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional, Western, and evolutionary astrology. I'm excited to share this month's transit forecast with you. If you are new here, you can learn more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. Thank you for liking and subscribing and for sharing your journey with me. So March is here, and I can already feel this energetic shift as it is shaping our month ahead. This month is dominated by the signs of Pisces and with Aries. And so we begin with this Pisces stellium. This is a powerful cluster of planets that are like swimming through this water sign. It's highlighting our emotions, deep introspection, our feelings. It's wanting a strong sense of closure. The dreamy and intuitive energy, it really sets the stage for endings and this transition of what is to come, but it's not knowing exactly what is going on. As we move into Aries season closer to the end of the month, it's about igniting the fire. It's pushing us to take these bold actions that can bring about fresh starts. If you've been wanting clarity, transformation, or this cosmic nudge towards change, this is going to be the month that everything is now going to make it happen. This month is a powerhouse of astrological events. It literally sets the tone for major endings and new beginnings because we have Venus and Mercury retrograde, we have two eclipses, and we have the sun's ingress into the sign of Aries, marking the astrological new year. March is going to be a time of deep reflection, major breakthroughs, and the opportunity for everyone to take bold action. This is a period when we're going to witness these shifts both on our personal and on the collective levels. The intensity of this month is going to encourage us to embrace change, to let go of fear of things that no longer serve us. The intensity is saying, find your own true path, move forward, grow, change, evolve, become resilient. All right, so I want to start off with March 1st. So this is when Venus retrograde actually begins. We start off with the planet of love and beauty and finances, now stationing retrograde from March 1st until April 12th, 2025. So this lasts 40 days. So think 40 days, 40 nights. As one of our personal planets, Venus does not retrograde often. And so it makes the effects of the energy, more deeply felt. And so when she's retrograde, we're invited to look inward and to reassess our relationships, our values, our financial decisions. Old wounds come up, past lovers, unfinished emotional business. All of this now comes back into our peripheral as if something or someone is returning during this time. We ask ourselves, is this aligned with my highest good, or am I simply repeating an old cycle? With Venus moving through Aries and then back through the sign of Pisces, there can be themes of independence, self-love, deep spiritual connection. All of these topics are going to be magnified or heightened. A retrograde is when it covers a specific area, goes back, wants to cut, sever, dissect, remove, and then moves forward again for the third and final time. And so you might feel this strong pull to refine, what does love and partnership really mean to you? I encourage you at this time to avoid impulse decisions, whether they're in relationships or within your finances. This is a period of reflection and not immediate reaction. It's about looking at things and saying, I want to dive into this and decide, what do I want to cut, sever, remove. Then as we move towards the middle of the month, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in the earth sign of Virgo. This is on March 14th. And so we're looking at a full moon lunar eclipse at 23 degrees. And this is going to be a powerful moment of illuminating and release. Remember, eclipses eclipse people, places, and things into our life and out of our life. It's basically a readjustment to align where we have veered off track. So Virgo energy revolves around topics of a focus on our health, our work, our routines, and like the small details that help us shape our daily lives. So if you've been overextending yourself, this eclipse, it might highlight what needs to shift. The actual energy is felt 4 to 6 weeks prior. So you can like look back and say, what has this eclipse energy been showing me about what will be eclipsed in and out of my life? So you can look at, are your daily habits supporting your well-being? Is your work-life balance aligned with your own personal growth? Are you avoiding or are you holding on to perfectionism or self-doubt that needs to be released and let go? Lunar eclipses, they bring about these aha moments. They show us things that were once in the dark, and it's often in unexpected ways. So pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities that are leading up to this event, because they're really guiding you towards what needs attention in your life. On the same day, we have Mercury stationing retrograde. Now, as if the eclipse wasn't intense enough, Mercury's going to station retrograde in the sign of Aries and Pisces. And so it's going to last until April 7th. And so it's an opportunity of, I have to go back, I have to rethink, review, recalibrate. And so Mercury retrograde brings about miscommunication. It's you saying, I have to double check all important conversations, emails, travel plans, phone, text, anything like that you're writing, or documents of sharing information or receiving information. It's unclear, and so there can be tech glitches. So before it happens, I encourage you to back up your files and be patient with the delays. Retrogrades often are a time of looking at why I'm in the moment and where I'm meant to go, and looking back over things. This is a revisiting of old ideas, maybe something from the past that can resurface in order for you to have like a reconsideration of, what do I do with this, or where am I going? Now, this is not the time for rushed decisions, but rather slowing down and allowing for clarity to emerge. Since this retrograde overlaps with this eclipse energy, it can possibly be feeling like the universe is forcing you to take a step back, look inward, and reassess before you move forward. And then on March 21st, we're going to have the astrological new year. The sun's ingress into the fiery sign of Aries, it occurs right in the middle of eclipse season, like smack dab, making this astrological new year even more powerful, more potent, divinely timed. With the lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 14th, it's preparing us for what we need to release, to realign. And then we're going to have this solar eclipse later on in the month on March 29th. It's really catapulting us forward into these new beginnings. This moment, it feels cosmically designed for a force of transformation. This transition from Pisces and endings, moving into Aries, where I have these fresh starts, it's going to be amplified, reminding us that this completion is simply the beginning of a new cycle. This is going to be an opportunity to truly embrace the change with courage, with determination, to not be afraid to leap into something new. The universe is clearing a path where you are truly meant to be. The sun's entry into Aries, it marks the official start of the astrological new year. This is one of the most potent times of the year where we reset and we step into new possibilities. Aries is the first sign of the Zodiac. It brings about this fresh momentum with courage and of a pioneering spirit. And so if you've been feeling stuck, the shift is now going to offer you the energy to take action. The themes that this can bring is embracing new beginnings. Where do you want a fresh start? And the opportunity to take bold action with, where are you willing now to take this leap of faith and to step into leadership roles? How can you lead with confidence and authenticity? This is going to be a time for you to look at where the universe is sending you and to take this inspired action towards your goals. Let the fire of Aries season really fuel your motivation towards your highest potential. And then we end the month with a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on March 29th. Now, as we're closing out the month, it's closing it out with a bang. So bringing it in, all of this energy, and then ending it. This will be at 9 degrees of the sign of Aries. This is really a cosmic reset button. Solar eclipses, they bring about new, bold beginnings. They often come with these unexpected twists and turns. And so Aries energy, it's fearless, it's independent, it is action-oriented. Think of Aries as the sprinter. It just wants to move forward and not look back. And so this makes this ideal for the time to embrace these new opportunities. This can be a fresh start in the area that Aries rules of your chart. It's really going to be this call to step into your personal power and embrace your own courage. This is a reminder to trust that the universe is unfolding our journey and that the path yet isn't clear, but we have to be fearless and walk into it or run into it or leap into it. And so March 2025 is going to be this month of deep transformation, of bold new beginnings. There's no way to avoid the shifts that are now taking place. We have Venus and Mercury retrograde, these two powerful eclipses, and the Aries New Year. So we're being called to slow down, reflect, embrace the change, and to move forward into what the universe is offering us into this new change. Offerings this month, if you are interested in a community with like-minded individuals where we share, we connect, we grow, I encourage you to check out my Patreon using the link below. I have a special for Pisces. Celebrate your birthday with a specialized solar return chart. Use Pisces 10 at checkout. Additionally, I offer live astrology consultations every other Tuesday right here, and reserve your spot and get in the queue. I'd love to see you there. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you to help you navigate your journey. So let's dive in. So for Aries, this month is going to be a month of reflection, release, and these bold new beginnings for you. I want to circle 2 areas of the chart, so these are going to be highlighted for the entire month of March. So March is going to be this pivotal month for you as it marks the ending of cycles with Pisces energy and this initiation of brand new chapter for you. It's going to be a solar eclipse within your own sign of your identity with both Venus and Mercury retrogrades, 2 eclipses, and the astrological new year starting off with you saying, I need to pause, I need to recalibrate, and then I need to be ready to take this bold action. I need to take these intentional steps towards my own transformation. First off, I want to show you that you have Venus. Venus is right here, and she's going to retrograde from March 1st to April 12th. So we have her, remember, Venus is the planet of love and beauty and money and relationships and self-worth. And when she stations retrograde on March 1st, she's inviting this deep introspection for you with your values, your personal identity, like to take a look at yourself and how are you connecting with other people. With Venus stationing retrograde first in your first house of yourself, and then moving into your 12th house of your subconscious, your dreams, your intuition, this transit is really pushing you to reflect on how do you see yourself, your personal identity, your self-image? How do you present yourself to other people? How do you show up in relationships with others? You might feel this internal tug of war between independence and wanting to have connection. As Aries energy, it seeks autonomy, while then it goes back into this Piscean energy. Remember, Pisces is water. It wants to dissolve boundaries. And so there can be these old relationships that come up with past romantic partners or possibly unresolved financial matters that can now surface. It's asking you to have closure and a new approach on how you move forward. I would encourage avoiding impulse changes, whether it's in your appearance. Like, don't jump off and just say, okay, I'm just going to go get this great tattoo, because you might regret it at the end. It's looking at yourself and saying, how do I want to make these changes within myself? And this is also looking at your finances, looking at your relationships. This is going to be a time to reassess and not act like hastily on this. Now, you can reevaluate your relationship patterns. Are you honoring your own needs, or are you connecting with others to fill their cup, to fill their void? And so this is you paying attention to the insights from your dreams, these intuitive nudges, especially after March 20th, because Venus is then going to back up and move into your 12th house of Pisces. It's going to be about self-love being the key, and prioritizing self-acceptance before rushing into any new commitments. Now, as we look at the full moon, you're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse that's going to happen on March 14th, and it's going to be in your 6th house. Remember, full moons, they illuminate, and so they reveal. So eclipses, this one is going to be bringing these powerful turning points that have to do with revelations within your 6th house of health, daily work, routines, self-improvement, like you taking a look at yourself and balancing home and career. I look at this as this is a wake-up call for your health and well-being. Are there any imbalances with your physical, your emotional, your mental health and well-being? This can bring some things to light, like these aha moments. There could be work or health routines that maybe feel overwhelming, prompting a need for better organization or healthier boundaries, either for you and others or between you and your work. There can be a huge push for letting go of perfectionism and self-criticism, because Virgo energy, it can be bringing self-doubt. And this eclipse is asking you to really, how do I release unnecessary pressure that either I put upon myself or that others are asking of me? Because the 6th house is, how can I be of service to you? And so questions that you can ask yourself. Are your habits and your daily routines, do they support your physical and your mental health? Like, this is a self-check. Are you overcommitting or taking on too much responsibility? Like putting yourself in a position to be of service to others, but it's a disservice to yourself. Is your work meaningful, and is it aligned with your higher purpose? This is the house of finding a balance between work and career. I'm encouraging you to truly focus on self-care and how do you manage stress. This is a crucial time for you to be reorganizing your life for efficiency, for your well-being. If you're feeling overworked, set better boundaries and look to delegate responsibilities. Look to declutter not just your mind, but your workspace, because Virgo energy thrives on clarity and simplicity. Then the same day, Mercury, the ruler of this house, which is here, Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication, our thought processes, technology. And as it stations retrograde at the same time as this lunar eclipse, it's really amplifying this need for introspection and careful decision making. And so for you, Mercury retrograde, starting off in your 12th house, your first house, and then later moving back into your 12th house, Mercury, it's saying, I have to look at myself. What do I own in this? And so there can be a deep introspection of my decisions, my plans, my communication styles. And then when it moves back into Pisces, it's a time of inner work and healing and preparing for what is going to be coming next. I would encourage you to avoid rushing into any new agreements, contracts, or commitments. Like, look at what is being presented here. Check, double check, and triple check. There can be misunderstandings or technology issues that can arise. So double check everything. I don't say not move forward. I just say life happens, and we have to be prepared for working through what life is giving us. And so that means check, double check, and triple check, especially if there's contracts or negotiations. I would encourage you to journal, to meditate, to tap into your own subconscious, whether it's your ancestors, your dreams, your guides, your angels, because this is really going to be highly active during this time. Pause before speaking or acting impulsively, because you might reconsider your words or your choices or your actions. There can be past issues that come up, and you're going to need to address them with clarity and emotional honesty rather than frustration. Then we're going to have the sun move into your first house. And so the sun moving into your first house of your identity, this is going to be on March 21st. This is a welcome of a solar return season for you, or a personal new year for you. When the sun moves into the sign of Aries, it illuminates your first house of your identity, your vitality, of fresh starts, new beginnings, clean slate. It gives you this boost of confidence, of motivation. This marks this period of renewal and self-empowerment for you. So expect this surge of energy and enthusiasm, this courage to, now I can go after my goals, of things becoming a little bit more clear. If you've been feeling stuck or drained, this is like the cosmic reset button. The sun's movement entry into the sign of Aries, it brings about clarity in what you truly want, and you're stepping into like the leadership role of your own life. Set clear intentions of, this is how I want to move forward. What do I really want to accomplish? Making like a list. Be bold, but also be strategic. Mars is your ruling planet, and it's encouraging action, but Mercury is still retrograde. And so it's advising, I need to slow down, pause, and rethink all of this. It's making the list and then checking it twice and going over it again, prioritizing self-care, personal development. This is going to be your season to shine and to take charge. Then as we move a little bit further, we're going to have a solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries on March 29th. And so again, this is going to be in your first house of your identity. Now, this is a game-changing eclipse for you. This is happening in your first house of personal self, identity, your life path, your goals, you being seen. It's all about you. And Aries energy is about change and courage and independence and forging ahead. And so this eclipse, it really signals the start of an entirely new chapter for you. I would think that you could expect major shifts within your personal identity, your self-image, your life direction. This is about something new that's being initiated, whether it's a fresh opportunity, a bold decision, or a personal transformative experience. You can feel this strong push to really break free from old or like these limitations and stepping into your own personal power. There can be relationships or partnerships that can now be affected, and some connections might evolve, while others, they might feel like they no longer align with you. And that's going to be okay, because this is a new chapter with how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Be open to these unexpected opportunities. It's like synchronicity is happening. What arises now is going to be shaping you for the months ahead. If something ends, know and trust that the universe is making space for something that you are more aligned with. Take these calculated risks. Aries energy is very impulsive, but Mercury retrograde is suggesting that as you move forward, use caution and use wisdom. Embrace your own individuality. This is your time to really redefine who you are. Pay attention to the synchronicities or these intuitive nudges that the universe is giving you, because they're pointing you in the right direction. Mars for you is going to be this powerful and transformative month. It's going to be filled with deep reflection, bold new beginnings, and it's truly this combination of Venus, Mercury retrograde, 2 eclipses, an astrological new year, making these major shifts and changes and recalibration about you. A mantra that you can focus on is, I release the past. I embrace the present, and I'm going to step boldly into my new future. Trust that the universe is guiding you towards this new and exciting phase of your journey. Now is the time for you to embrace change. It's for you to lead with courage and align with your true self. Aries, I absolutely love all of this for you. I thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For those of you who've subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because your energy fuels my journey. So for Taurus, this is going to be a month of reflection, transformation, and serious quiet power. I want to bring your attention to this area of your chart and this area of your chart. And so March is going to be the significant month as it's going to be activating your deep emotional, spiritual, and some financial themes for you. For you, the Pisces Aries part of your chart is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, and it's going to be moving through your 12th house of fears and intuition. And so as it moves through Pisces and into your 12th house, it's about endings and this preparation for a powerful new beginning. With Venus, that's going to be retrograde, and you have 2 eclipses, and it's going to be challenging you to reassess your career, to the direction, your subconscious patterns. It's going to be an opportunity for you to align with your truth, with people that you connect with, like friends, collaborations, that is preparing you for this fresh start. So I want to start off with Venus. Venus is going to be stationing retrograde at the beginning of the month. Now, Venus is right here in your 12th house, and she's going to station retrograde from your 12th and back into your 11th house. Venus is your ruling planet, so it's always important for you to be following where she's going and what she's doing. When she stations retrograde, this makes this one of the most impactful transits for you for this year. Like this is going to be a month of a lot of things happening all at one time. When Venus stations retrograde, all of the topics of relationships, money, self-worth, they definitely come under review for you. Having Venus in Aries from March 1st through the 20th, this is going to affect your 12th house. It's the house of solitude. It's the house of spirituality, hidden patterns. You might feel withdrawn, introspective, nostalgic, looking back at past relationships. The 12th house is where we do a lot of the work, but we do it inside our own head through dreams, intuition, psychic ability, ancestors, guides. And so old wounds, they can now resurface, but this is a time for deep healing rather than like reopening doors. Having Venus then back up into your 11th house from March 21st through April 12th, Venus moving into Pisces in your 11th house of friendships, community, your goals. Now it brings these topics under a review. And so some of your friendships, they might feel distant, or you might question within your social status, within your social circle, or in your long-term dreams. There are opportunities for you to use this time to truly process the past hurts within these collaborations, these networks, or to release and let go of emotional baggage. Reflect on who truly supports you and whether your social circles, do they align with your values? Have they grown, changed, and evolved with you? I would avoid any impulsive financial or relationship decisions at this time. This is a time for a reassessment, not for making forward momentum, forward action. Also, as we move towards the middle of the month, we now have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. So we're now going to focus on this area of your chart of your fifth house of creativity, it's romance, it's self-expression, it's children, your inner child, art, music, creativity, all topics of I want to bring joy to me. And so this lunar eclipse, it brings these powerful realizations and these endings, and these can also be emotional turning points for you. For you, the impact is about there could be a creative project that finally reaches completion, or that it requires adjustments before you can move on. There could be relationships, like romantic partnerships or relationships that might now undergo a shift, whether it's a deepening in a connection with them or recognizing that there's this misalignment. So if you've been neglecting your joy or your self-expression, this eclipse is really going to push you to reclaim those parts of yourself, to tap back into your inner child. If you have children of your own, remember, this is the house of giving birth, whether it's to creative projects or to actual children. So if you have children, this could mark a pivotal or an important turning point in their lives, or your role as a parent to them. And so things to reflect on at this time can be, am I expressing myself authentically, or am I holding back in some way? Is my romantic life fulfilling? Or am I stuck in old patterns? Am I making time for myself to experience joy and creativity in my day-to-day living? I need to let go of perfectionism. I need to be able to embrace what brings me joy without literally overanalyzing and looking for it to be the right time, the perfect person, the perfect place, perfectionism. I need to express myself fully through art, writing, or projects that bring passion to me. And I need to listen to my heart. I need to focus on relationships that survive this eclipse, because those are the ones that are built to last. Now, at the same time, we're going to have Mercury, like literally the same day, we're going to have Mercury stationing retrograde. It's going to be in this area of your life, so like the Aries and the Pisces. And so Mercury, being the planet of communication and travel, our thought processes, contracts, when it stations retrograde on the same day as this lunar eclipse, it adds this confusion to our reflection. The impact can be, as it starts off in your 12th house, is a time period of introspection, vivid dreams, and the opportunity to like revisit the past. Now, there could be secrets that now come to light, or you might feel kind of mentally foggy. When it then stations retrograde back into your 11th house, there can be miscommunications that arise with friends or groups or your future goals or the people that you network with. This can be work network, or this could be like where we volunteer or are of service to other people. And so there can be delays or misunderstandings in like our social settings that could possibly come up. I'm encouraging you to be mindful of past fears as they resurface, because they're showing up as a way of healing, to avoid miscommunications within friends or your social circles, your networks, your groups, and double check on important conversations, whether did the message send, did everybody get it, and to revisit these old goals. There could be something that's from the past that needs to be reconsidered before you move forward. Now, as we look towards March 21st, we're now going to have the sun entering into the sign of Aries. Having the sun move into your 12th house, this brings about the start of the astrological new year. And so your focus is now going to be shifting with deep introspection, a spiritual period for you. This is going to be a time of retreat, of reflection, of how do I recharge before your birthday season begins next? You might feel drawn to spiritual practices, meditation, yoga, journaling, solitude. This will be an opportunity to let go of the past baggage, because the key is this final preparation before you step into this next cycle. Things to focus on would be definitely meditation, journaling, tapping into your dreams, paying attention to what your spirit guides or your ancestors are telling you, energy healing. This is going to be extremely powerful at this time to rest and rejuvenate as much as possible, because your energy is going to be lower. So prioritizing self-care is going to be very important for you. Releasing toxic patterns, because the 12th house is the house of the hidden. So this is your chance to let go of anything that or anyone that's truly draining your energy. I encourage you to don't force new beginnings just yet, because April is going to be bringing you more clarity. Listen to your gut or listen to your intuition. Your subconscious is really here to guide you towards what is going to happen next. And avoid burnout. This is your time to reflect and not push or to rush. Then as we move towards the end of the month, you are going to have a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So we're going to be looking again at your 12th house, and it's going to be at 9 degrees. Now, this is one of the most significant cosmic resets for you of the year, because a solar eclipse in Aries, it's going to be activating your 12th house of endings, spirituality, these hidden matters, things that are behind the scenes. This marks major closure and an opportunity for transformation for you. This eclipse, it signals the necessary endings before you can have a fresh start. There's something in your life that you might need to let go of or to be released in order for a new path to open up for you. There can be hidden information that now comes to light, that is now like eclipsed and revealed to you. This could be a realization about yourself, or a secret that's resurfacing, or a shift in your perspective. There can be serious spiritual insights that can be extremely profound at this time. This is about your dreams, your intuition, your subconscious, with these messages that are here to guide you. You might feel drawn to take a pause for solitude and to do this deep inner work. There could be something from the past that's finalized or removed or cleared away. And there could be a new spiritual practice or this creative vision with this inner transformation that can now come out and emerge from this eclipse. Trust what is leaving your life is now making space for something better to fill the void. Pay attention to all messages that you get from your subconscious, whether it's like literally dreams, tarot cards, astrology, anything. Your intuition at this time is going to be extremely heightened. So don't force clarity. Let things unfold naturally, because the eclipse is literally eclipsing people, places, and things in and out of your life. And so March, being this deeply transformative month for you, is going to be filled with spiritual insights, emotional healing, and a preparation for a new cycle, a new beginning for you. A mantra for March could be, I release the past. I trust the future, and I'm opening my heart to new beginnings. You are now going to be stepping into a new phase of life. But first, March is asking you to surrender, to heal, and to trust in the divine timing. April is going to be bringing you much more clarity and momentum. So embrace this month as this necessary chapter of this inner growth and this transformation as it unfolds. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For those of you who've subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Gemini, the shifts for you are going to be with your career, your public life, and within your social circles. I want you to focus on this area of your chart and with this area of your chart. So we have a lot of focus on you being seen in the outside world and your home sector. March is really going to be this very eventful month, bringing major shifts to your career, your reputation, your social circles, your social connections, your subconscious patterns. This Pisces Aries transformation or transition, as it moves, all of this energy is focused on your 10th and your 11th houses. It's really highlighting both your public recognition and your future aspirations of where you want to go, things that you want to do. With Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde and two powerful eclipses, it's about reassessing what are your professional goals. I need to look at my friendships. I need to broaden my life vision. So I want to first start with Venus. Venus being from March 1st to April 12th, she is first going to station retrograde in your 11th house, and then she will be dipping back into the sign of Pisces. So I'm like blending that over that way. So Venus is asking you to make this a time of deep introspection regarding your career, your relationships, and within your personal values, and where do you stand within that. Venus in Aries from March 1st through March 20th, it's going to affect your 11th house of friendships, the way that you network, long-term goals, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. And so it's you reevaluating your social circle, and it's realizing that maybe some of your connections, they're no longer aligned with what your true path is or your evolving path, how you're changing. Be mindful at this time that old friends can resurface because Venus brings them back in. And so ask yourself, are these relationships healthy, or are they just simply familiar? Venus is then going to back up into the sign of Pisces from March 21st through April 12th. Now, as Venus moves into Pisces, this is going to activate your 10th house of your career, your reputation, your life direction. And so this is going to be like in a major focus for yourself. You might reconsider, what are your professional goals? There might be you experiencing delays in career advancement, or feel this strong pull towards redefining what is your purpose. You can look at this as, am I on the right path? Or do I now need to refocus and look at how do I pivot? Your friendships and your collaborations, these topics come under a review. And so there can be some relationships that feel far off or in the distance, while others resurface literally unexpectedly. I'm going to encourage you to avoid impulse decisions, with whether it's in career or whether it's in finances, because this is a time of reflection, not for action. Whenever the planet is retrograde, it's going inward. Now, at the same time, as we are going to have on March 14th, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. So this is down at the bottom of your chart in your 4th house of home, family, roots, foundation, stability. Now, this full moon lunar eclipse, like this is illuminating like things that were once hidden. It brings them out. That has to do with home, family, your inner foundations, you, like the 4th house is what we build our life upon. And so this eclipse can literally bring sudden realizations or endings or changes, urging you to, I need to realign with what truly supports you. And so normally these eclipses can bring big changes to home and career, like shifting a home or shifting within a career. So there can be major shifts with your home, your family life, with you make a plan to move, or you experience changes within your living situation, or it could be you have this breakthrough regarding something that has to do with your family dynamics. There can be emotional healing and a releasing and letting go of the past. There could be unresolved childhood or family matters that resurface in order to have a closure, a culmination, and an ending of. And the eclipses also bring about, how do I balance my home and my work life? If your career has been consuming too much of your energy, this eclipse is really going to push you to prioritize your emotional well-being and your stability. Some questions to focus or reflect on could be, is my home environment supporting my personal and my professional growth at this time? Am I carrying emotional baggage from the past that I need to let go of and release? How can I create a better balance between my career ambitions and my personal well-being? I'm encouraging you both to declutter and to reorganize your life, both physically and emotionally, because the eclipse is literally, they eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our life. This is about setting these healthy boundaries with family obligations that should not come at the cost of your inner peace. And so honor your need for security and prioritize stability over any unnecessary obligations as they come up. Knowing that on the same day, you're also going to have Mercury station retrograde. So we have Mercury, and Mercury is going to be looking at this area of your life from March 14th to April 7th, and it's your ruling planet. It governs not only your first house of your identity, who you are, but also your home, your family. And so when a planet stations retrograde, it's like going within, and it amplifies the need for reflection and patience. Now for you, from March 14th to the 24th, it's going to retrograde from your 11th house back into your 12th house. So this is about expecting miscommunication or misunderstandings with friends or within group settings. And these could be work associates, or it could also be like professional or personal. Now you could have plans that change unexpectedly, or old connections that might now resurface. Now from March 25th to April 7th, you're going to have it retrograde back into the sign of Pisces. That's your career, your home, your opposite of your home, your career, your reputation. So now it's like slowing down. Your career plans can now stall. There can be these important decisions that should be delayed, and there can be professional miscommunications that now come up with either misunderstandings, or it's basically a slow down, let's go back, let's retrace, let's think about this again. And so be cautious when you're networking and within your group settings at this time, because misunderstandings definitely come up, and they're definitely common. And remember, this is also the eclipse. And so this is an opportunity for you to review your long-term goals instead of launching new projects. This is you saying, I need to double check all work-related communications and my contracts, because delays and revisions are most likely going to come up. And so I need to double check before I send things off. Now, as we move forward to March 21st, we're now going to have the sun move into, so it's going to be leaving your 10th house and moving into your 11th house. Having the sun move into Aries is the astrological new year, and it marks the beginning of a new astrological cycle for you that shifts your focus into what are my aspirations, my friendships, what are my future plans? Like, I'm ready to take action. But we still have Mercury retrograde. And so the impact is, this is a powerful reset for you to focus on what are my long-term goals, my social connections, people, places, and things. And you might feel this stronger sense of purpose and clarity regarding where do you want to go in life. There can be these opportunities to collaborate or to join new like communities or networks that now emerge. So you can set these new goals of what future vision now excites me the most, because you're going to be revising this. Mercury is still retrograde. This is about looking at your friendships and saying, who truly supports my growth? And stepping into leadership roles or within these group settings with your influence is now going to be expanding and growing. I encourage you to take time to visualize, where do you want to go next? Because this is cautiously stepping into something new, that there's going to be new opportunities that are going to unfold in the month of April. So this is like looking at things and saying, I'm ready to move forward, but what do I need to revise before I do this? I need to reconnect with like-minded individuals who truly inspire and challenge me. I would encourage you, don't rush into any commitments. Let clarity come about naturally for you. Then on March 29th, you are going to have a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. I love this in that now we have a major turning point within your house of friendships, networks, goals, hopes, wishes, dreams, your aspirations. And so the impact for you, because it's in a harmonious aspect to who you are. And this is bringing about major changes within community involvement for you and in your friendship or your tribe, your community. There can be some relationships at this time that naturally fade away, while there can be new connections that now emerge. There is this bold new direction within your goals, and you might receive this sudden clarity about your next step within your career or your personal projects. This is also unexpected opportunities of you stepping into like a leadership role. You might be called to lead the group or have to step up into it or take charge of a project, or something that it expands your influence that comes about suddenly, like maybe not going after it, but like the opportunity providing itself and then you stepping into that. So I'm encouraging you to let go of these outdated friendships or social circles, because the ones that no longer align with your vision are the ones that need to go to the wayside, and be open to new opportunities. This eclipse is pushing you towards exciting new paths. You just have to step into it. Trust that changes within your social life are leading you towards something that's better. Embrace these new collaboration opportunities or these new social networks, because they're going to help you shape your future. Set these bold intentions around this cosmic reset of where do I want to go within my personal and my professional aspirations, and stay flexible for what's unfolding, because now you're going to have this long-term impact for where you're going and for your life, for your career, for your job. Gemini, for you, March 2025 is really going to be this transformative month that's filled with like career assessments, or actually reassessments of where am I going, what am I doing, a shift in friendships, breakthroughs with long-term goals. With Mercury and Venus both retrograde and 2 eclipses and the astrological new year, you are being called to slow down, to reassess, and to prepare for the next chapter of your life. A mantra that you can use for the month of March is, I release what no longer aligns with my future, and I want to embrace change, and I trust my path moving forward. March is going to be this stepping stone towards a more fulfilling future for you. It's trusting that the universe is clearing out the old in order to make way for something greater for you. Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels this journey. So for Cancer, the major shifts for you are going to be career, communication, and your own personal growth. For you, 2025 is going to be this month of significant transformation in your career and visibility. And how do you take that and communicate with the world? The Pisces Aries transition is really activating your 9th and your 10th house. So we are looking at your 9th and your 10th house. And so this is your career sector and your foreign people, places, and things. It brings this shift and this in your beliefs, your expansion of who you connect with, and your professional advancements. Now you have Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, 2 powerful eclipses. And so you're being asked to reevaluate what are your long-term goals and the way that you communicate. What are these strategies, and what is your life direction? The other area of your life is going to be here. This is the 3rd house of communication. And so let's take a deep dive into this and explore this. So the very first day that I want to bring your attention to is going to be Venus retrograde from March 1st to April 12th, and she is going to be right here in the sign of Aries, and then she will dip back into the sign of Pisces. Now Venus, she's the goddess of love, finances, beauty, personal values, and when she stations retrograde, it requires a deep reflection in your career and in your belief systems. So She's going to be retrograde from March 1st to March 20th, and this will impact your career sector, your public recognition, your professional status. Like the 10th house is how people see you. And so you might reconsider, what is my career path, or these relationships that I have with authority figures, or how do I present myself to the world? Then Venus is going to move into your the sign of Pisces in your 9th house from March 21st to April 12th. When Venus moves into your 9th house, this is the house of higher learning, of travel, of your belief system. It's the house of publishing and legal matters. And so Venus is now asking you to reevaluate, what are your personal philosophies, your educational pursuits, your travel plans? What do you want to do? How do you move forward with these things? And so there can be a career reassessment. Are you aligned with your professional goals? A public image reflection. How do you want to be perceived and seen by other people? The 10th house is them looking at you. And so rethinking your life's philosophy. Are your beliefs are they helping you or are they limiting you? I would avoid any career changes or major financial investments until after Venus stations direct. I encourage you to review, but don't rush into any professional shifts at this time. Like this is a time to go within, to reconnect with mentors or teachers or guides or people that support you. If old career opportunities do resurface, it's time for you to evaluate, does this align with your true path? Then as we move forward to March 14th, you're going to have a lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo. So we're looking at down here. And so any planets that are within a 3-degree orb on either side of that. A full moon lunar eclipse in your 3rd house of communication and learning and local connections. It's a major shift in your communication style. It can change the way you express yourself, or you publish work, or you approach your daily conversations. The 3rd house is how I take in information and how I share it with other people. And so there can be decisions that are made about education or contracts or writing projects that now come up. And if you've been working on something, it might come to a completion. There can be shift in relationship with siblings or neighbors or with people within your local community at this time. New dynamics can now emerge, and there can be old issues that finally resolve. Remember, eclipses eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our lives. And so the mindset is on breakthroughs, and you might realize the need to release any limiting beliefs and embrace a new perspective. Questions that you can reflect on are, am I communicating my truth or am I holding back with specific people? Like, you need to be able to be open and honest with your tribe. And who is your tribe? Are your daily routines and your habits, are they aligned with your goals? Is there a contract or an agreement that needs to be reevaluated at this time? Be mindful of how you speak, because your words hold power. Double check all important documents, emails, agreements, everything before you sign on the dotted line. Release any mental patterns that are just no longer serving you. Now, on the same day, you are going to have Mercury. Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde right here in the sign of Aries and then back into the sign of Pisces, like adding this layer of confusion. Now, Mercury is the ruler of communication and with thinking. And when it stations retrograde on the same day as the lunar eclipse, it's really amplifying the confusion or the need for patience. Remember that you are ruled by the moon. And so whatever the moon is doing, it amplifies your intuition. And so the impact for you is we're looking from March 14th to the 24th. It'll retrograde through your 10th house of career. And this is expecting that you could have miscommunications within your career or delays within professional matters or public misunderstandings, things that are seen outside in the public. And then as it moves back from March 25th to April 7th, it will move into your 9th house. Now, this is the house of travel plans, legal matters, documents, educational pursuits. You might experience like a setback, or something that requires more information or a revision. Look to navigate this with triple checking all professional emails, all presentations, any public statements before you move forward with it. Avoid signing major contracts until clarity returns from this. Use this time to really review what are your professional goals before taking action. Now, later on March 21st, we're now going to be moving into the astrological new year. The sun is now going to enter into the sign of Aries, like really bringing a focus on your 10th house of your public image, your career, people seeing you. So having it happen here is really going to have an impact of a fresh start in your career, your life direction, gaining clarity at this time on what are your professional aspirations. There can be a heightened visibility. Remember, the 10th house is the top where people can look up to you. They see you. You might find yourself in leadership positions, you stepping into more of an authoritative role. There's going to be this need to balance your personal and your professional life because too much focus on your career can lead to emotional burnout for you. Themes that you can focus on at this time are: how can I take charge of my own professional life? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Definitely defining your own personal brand. How do I want to be seen? And embracing the leadership roles that come to you with confidence. You stepping into your power. This is a time for you to step into professional growth. Be mindful of overworking. Self-care is really going to be essential, and be open to new career opportunities, but wait until Mercury stations direct before you make those final decisions on this. Then I want to talk about March 29th. So on March 29th, you're going to have a solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries. And so again, now we're focusing on your career. And so in a solar eclipse here is a cosmic reset with your career, with your public life. It's like saying, end of this chapter, begin this new chapter. There could be a major shift within a career opportunity that now emerges. This could be a new project. This could be a promotion or a big unexpected changes. Remember that the eclipse energy happens 4 to 6 weeks beforehand. It doesn't necessarily culminate on that day. It's the energy that leads up to it. There can also be this sudden realization about what is your purpose and what is your direction. And you might feel this urge to take bolder steps to move forward. There can be a shift in your public identity on how the world sees you change, and this could be significantly. This means a fresh start for you with your professional life. So expect shifts within your career, your reputation, your leadership roles, a chance to really redefine what are your personal ambitions. Are you truly aligned with what you are currently creating and building? This is an invitation to take bold action. Aries is forward, the warrior. Trust that you're stepping into something greater than what you can envision. And so don't fear stepping into the spotlight because this is your moment. Be open to any unexpected changes as they occur. This is trusting that they are leading you towards growth. Taking time for you to set professional goals that align with your authentic self. Cancer, know that March 2025 is really going to be this powerful turning point, especially for your career, communication, and your personal belief system. With Venus and Mercury retrograde, 2 eclipses, and this Aries New Year, you are now being called to slow down, to reassess, and to prepare for the significant professional and personal changes that are opening their doors to you. A mantra for March can be, I embrace change, I trust my path, and I want to step into my power with confidence. This month is asking you to step up. It's asking you to trust yourself. It's asking you to allow change to shape your path to move forward. March is setting the foundation for you to have this powerful year of career expansion and self-discovery. And so I'm encouraging you to embrace it fully. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Leo, March is going to be about expansion and transformation and these bold new horizons for you. March is going to be a powerful month for your 8th and 9th houses. So let me circle both of these. So the 8th house is the house of transformation and shared resources and personal growth. And then the 9th house brings in long distance expansion. And so this Pisces Aries transition brings this period of endings and renewal and bold new beginnings. And then we have Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses. You are being asked to reassess your financial matters. So that's going to occur down here. Things that have to do with releasing old limitations, embracing a new life or new philosophy. So let's dive into each one. So on March 1st to April 12th, you are going to have Venus station retrograde first in the sign of Aries, and then she's going to move back into the sign of Pisces. And so Venus is the planet of love and money and self-worth. And when she stations retrograde, it urges a lot of deep reflection about your finances, about relationships, about your own emotional growth. The impact for you from March 1st to March 20th will be influencing your 9th house of higher learning and travel and your own personal spiritual beliefs and legal matters. And so you might question your personal philosophies or education or internal connections that you have with broader topics. If you've considered a move or legal matters or academic pursuits, there can be these delays that are now brought up or that can happen. Then you're going to have Venus move into the sign of Pisces from March 21st until April 12th. And so as Venus then moves into your 8th house, this is the house of shared resources. It's the house of intimacy. It's the house of birth, death, and rebirth and the transformation of. And so there can be financial concerns that are related to debt and taxes or inheritances that now are brought to light. This is a time of financial reevaluation, not impulsive spending. So there can be a reevaluating of your own personal beliefs and you looking at yourself and saying, am I living in alignment with my highest value, like at the forefront? Are my shared resources supporting my long-term vision, like where my money is invested or people that I'm invested in? I need to focus on outdated emotional attachments at this time. This retrograde, it might bring up past relationships and these wounds that you have in order to bring about a healing opportunity. Avoid making any major financial or romantic decisions at this time until after Venus stations direct mid-April. Trust that the delays here that are going on at this time are helping you to refine your long-term path. If past relationships resurface because Venus brings people, places, and things from our past, reflect on whether if this is part of your growth or just a familiar cycle. This strengthen your financial independence. Rely on your own resources rather than depending on others during this time. All right, so let's move on to the lunar eclipse. So on March 14th, you're going to have a lunar eclipse at 23 degrees in the sign of Virgo. So this is like all about your money, your cash, your property, your resources, your skill set, it's about material security. And this is a full moon lunar eclipse. And so the impact for you can be a major shift in whether it's a change in income or in new financial responsibilities or a realization about your money management. You might recognize like self-worth patterns that just need to change, especially around what you truly value in relationships or with your work or your career, because this is your money, your cash, your skill set. There can be recognizing these patterns that lead to a renewed focus in order for you to have stability on, am I overspending Or is this about financial insecurity that brings, this eclipse is about bringing an end to that? You might feel called to improve your skill set, like take a class, or this could be learning, or through a trade, or refining your existing talent. Questions to focus on can be, am I being compensated fairly for my talents and my efforts? It's like looking in the mirror and saying, know your value, know your worth. And do my financial habits reflect my long-term goals? Are they sustainable? Is there a mindset of scarcity or fear around money that I need to release? I encourage you to organize your finances at this time. This is an excellent time for budgeting and for decluttering your financial obligations, to like lay it all out there and take a good hard look at it. Set clear goals for income growth and for financial independence for yourself. Acknowledge your self-worth beyond like physical material possessions, because true value, it comes from within. Now, knowing at the same time this eclipse is going on, you're also going to have Mercury stationing retrograde. Now, Mercury is going to be from March 14th to April 7th. Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, and when it stations retrograde on the same day, it kind of amplifies this confusion and the need for patience to like slow down and stop and truly look at some things. From March 14th to the 24th, it's going to station retrograde through your 9th house. There can be delays or miscommunication that are related to travel or legal matters or academic pursuits, classes, workshops, or international affairs. Remember, the 9th house is foreign people, places, and things. So be careful with contracts or educational decisions at this time. Then it's going to back up into the sign of Pisces on March 25th to April 7th. And so Pisces retrograde in your 8th house, expect financial reviews or emotional introspection and deep psychological processing on your part. There can be hidden information regarding money or intimate relationships that can now be brought to the surface. Review, rethink, revise. Retrogrades are always those rewords. So double check all of your travel plans and your contracts before you're signing. Look to reassess any long-term goals that are associated to education or your spiritual beliefs, and avoid any financial commitments if at all possible. Look for the hidden details, like the final note at the bottom, that can definitely come to light later. So as we move forward, I want to talk about March 21st. On March 21st, we're going to have the Sun now join into the sign of Aries. This is the astrological new year. As the sun ingresses into Aries, this marks the beginning of a new astrological cycle and brings a focus to the house of expansion and higher learning and personal growth. And so this is really going to be this powerful time when you're going to want to move forward with learning and traveling and self-discovery. You might feel inspired to broaden your horizons, whether it's through education or spiritual exploration, or these international connections that you have with others. There can be this renewed sense of optimism and faith in how do I want adventure, and it's going to be fueling your desire for personal growth, knowing that there's going to be this slow start on it because Mercury is still retrograde. Themes that you can focus on are exploring new philosophies or belief systems, like definitely anything that broadens your mind, your horizons, stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing new adventures, like opening your mind, revisiting higher education, publishing, legal matters, anything that has to do with spiritual studies. I encourage you to embrace your curiosity and to follow your desire and embrace adventure. This is in a fellow fire sign, like in a harmonious aspect to your first house of self. And this is following my desire for knowledge and experience and who I want to be and what do I want to do, taking this risk that aligns with your greater vision, trusting that these new opportunities, they're bringing up these old limitations that need to fall away, and me being fearless of moving into the future. Then the last I want to talk about is March 29th. You are going to have, at 9 degrees of Aries, you are going to have a solar eclipse. Now, solar eclipse is another major turning point, again, in the house of expansion, personal beliefs, adventure, legal matters, publishing. And so this can be a major shift in perspective or education or in a life direction, like this aha, I get it moment of, this is where I'm supposed to be going, or this is what it was leading me to. There can be opportunities for international connections or travel or a possible relocation. There can be this desire to break free from outdated belief systems and you wanting to embrace bold new paths. There can be unexpected developments that come up related to legal matters, publishing, education, or within mentorship, like taking a class or teaching a class. There is this new cycle for adventure and growth that's beginning, and it's an opportunity to not hold back, to embrace it for everything that it is. Doors can open for learning, for publishing, for connecting with people from different backgrounds. You might feel called to explore new spiritual or philosophical beliefs or religions. And so be open to these sudden shifts or changes in plans, because these eclipses, they're truly clearing the way for something that's better. Following your passion and trusting that the journey ahead is the direction, embracing these opportunities that push you beyond your current limits. March of 2025 for you, Leo, is going to be this pivotal month of financial growth, your belief expansion, and these new beginnings, these new opportunities. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses and this Aries New Year, you are being called to reassess what are your values, stepping into financial empowerment, embracing these bold personal transformations of stepping into your divinity. A mantra for March can be, I release what no longer serves me. I embrace new perspectives, and I step boldly into my future. This month, Leo, is really setting the stage for an exciting year of transformation. Trust the shifts, embrace in your journey ahead. So Leo, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, I thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Virgo, this is going to be a month of personal and relationship transformations for you. I want you to focus on these 2 houses with Aries and Pisces, because March is a pivotal month that brings these major shifts within your identity, your first house of yourself, and your relationships that you have with other people, and it's going to be bringing in financial matters. With the Pisces Aries transition, it's activating your 7th and your 8th house, so themes of partnerships and intimacy and shared resources and personal empowerment and growth for you is really going to take center stage. You have Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and 2 eclipses. You are redefining your relationship patterns, your financial structures, and your own self-worth. This is going to be a month to release the past and really step into a more empowered version of yourself. I want to start off with Venus retrograde first. Venus is going to retrograde from March 1st to April 12th. She's going to start off in your 8th, and then she's going to end up in your 7th. And so Venus, being the planet of love and beauty and finances and self-worth, when it stations retrograde, it urges us to take a look inward at deep reflection on our relationship, on our shared resources, on our emotional intimacy. It brings about the influences of the 8th house from March 1st to the 20th. That's how do I transform my shared finances, my emotional bonds. It's people, places, and things that you are invested in or you are intimately connected with. You might reassess your partnerships or inheritance or debt, or how do I manage my debt. Remember that the 8th house is alimony, child support. It's where your money is invested or your energy is invested in other people. And so there can be emotional wounds from past relationships that now resurface, and it calls for a healing. Then when Venus moves into your 7th house from March 21st until April 12th, it shines a spotlight on relationships and partnerships. If the 1st house is about you, the 7th house is you with everybody else. And so Venus retrograde here is asking you to reevaluate your romantic and your business connections. You might experience relationship revisitations of old lovers resurfacing, or a shift in your partnership dynamics. And so this is an opportunity for healing emotional wounds that are related to past relationships or with trust issues. There can be a reassessment of financial relationships, with avoiding major financial decisions until Venus goes direct. Like, knowing that this is underway, know that this is a re-look at, a second look at. This is an opportunity to understand the balance of power that comes within your relationships or your partnerships. Are you giving too much, or are you not giving enough? Like, what is healthy? What is the balance? Avoid entering into any new relationships or making any impulse financial decisions at this time until Venus goes direct. It's like you have these rose-colored glasses, and anybody new that comes in, it's seeing them for their true worth at the end. I'm encouraging you to take some time to truly reflect on your relationship patterns, and look at, are they supporting your personal growth? Ensuring that your financial decisions are made with your long-term stability in mind. If an ex or a past financial issue resurfaces, evaluate it objectively before making any decisions to move forward. Then, as we look at the lunar eclipse that's going to be in the sign of Virgo, and this will happen, so this is in your 1st house of self. This is going to happen on March 14th, and it will be at 23 degrees Virgo. So you can look to see if you have any planets are at around 3 degrees either way in Virgo. This full moon in your 1st house is huge. This is about your identity, your personal goals. It's your physical body. This marks this powerful turning point within your own personal space, your own personal life. There could be a major shift within your self-perception. With how do you see yourself? It can drastically change at this time. You might decide to change your appearance or your habits or your personal goals. There can be relationships that no longer align with your evolving identity, and that may naturally just fade away or fall away. This eclipse is asking you to step into your power, to embrace your authentic self. Eclipses eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our life. And so it's the 6 weeks that lead up to it, and then it'll be the 6 weeks that are afterwards. And so questions that you can reflect on: am I being true to myself? Or am I conforming to other people's expectations of me? What habits or routines are no longer serving my highest good? Is my personal identity shifting to align with my deeper purpose? I encourage you to be open on your personal reinvention, because this is a fresh start for your identity and confidence. If relationships or situations, they no longer feel aligned or comfortable, trust that the changes are happening. Prioritize your self-care. Your emotional and physical health may need extra attention at this time. Now, on the same day, we're going to have Mercury, your chart ruler. Mercury is also going to then station retrograde. Mercury is going to move from Aries from March 14th, and then it will last until April 7th. And it's going to station retrograde on the same day as the lunar eclipse. And this really amplifies the need for patience and introspection. Know that Mercury is your chart ruler, and it also rules your career, your job, your reputation, your 10th house. And so since Mercury is your ruling planet, from March 14th to the 24th, it will retrograde in the sign of Aries, your 8th house. So expect financial reviews, unexpected insights into shared assets, or there could be revelations about emotional intimacy or misunderstandings in deep personal conversations that can now arise or be brought to the surface. Remember, it rules the way that you communicate. Then on March 25th to April 7th, it's going to station retrograde into the sign of Pisces, your partnership sector, your relationships, communication. It can become confusing at this time. There can be old issues that now need to be resolved before you can move forward. Be mindful of any misunderstandings within romantic or business partnerships at this time. Be patient with financial matters. Double check all of your contracts, your investments, your communications. Avoid major relationship decisions if at all possible. There will be clarity that's going to come after April 7th. If an old ex or an old friend, they reach out or approach this situation with wisdom rather than nostalgia. Sometimes it's them coming back into your life to understand why they were out of your life. Then we're going to move forward to March 21st. So on March 21st, we're going to have the astrological new year. The sun is now going to move into the sign of Aries, again, lighting up this area of your life. And so the sun's ingress into the sign of Aries, this shifts the focus to transformation, finances, deep psychological growth. You might feel a strong urge to clear like your emotional and your financial debts. Like, let's take the 8th house is where am I connected or invested with other people, places, or things. And so there can be this deeper understanding of your subconscious, these motives like, aha, I get it. This is a trigger that these things can now emerge. This is going to be a time for you to step into your personal empowerment, to claim your strength, and to truly let go of your fear. Themes that you can focus on are emotional and financial renewal. How can you create greater stability of where your energy, time, money is invested? Letting go of old attachments that just no longer serve you. Facing these deep-seated fears and with Aries energy, stepping into confidence. Trust that the changes that are occurring right now, that they are leading you towards greater empowerment. Work on emotional healing, therapy, journaling, spiritual practices. All of these things can support your growth. Don't fear letting go. What's leaving your life is really making space for something that's greater. All right, so then I want to talk about the solar eclipse. Now, on March 29th, you're going to have a solar eclipse. This one's really powerful. It's at 9 degrees of Aries on March 29th. A solar eclipse is a reset. And so now, with the sun going there, focusing on this is what I need to reset. And remember, Mercury's still retrograde, so we're rethinking, reevaluating, redoing all of these. This is a reset of transformation, finances, and intimacy. And so there can be this significant shift in financial matters. There can be these new opportunities, these unexpected changes that now come up or arise. And so there can be a transformation of people that you have been in intimate relationships with. And so this can be an ex, this can be a business partner, significant other. This can also be family. This is how do I let go of old wounds in order to make space for deeper connections with others. The 8th house is the house of deep bonding and wanting that deep, intimate connection. And so there's new beginnings in an area of emotional and psychological healing. And so this means that you have this new chapter of financial independence, of taking charge of your own resources. There can be a healing of past traumas, allowing yourself to release, let go, let flow of what no longer serves you. A deep understanding of your personal power. This is a moment of empowerment for you. Be open to unexpected financial shifts and work to adjust accordingly, but don't make impulsive moves or decisions. Embrace the emotional transformation because this is a time of deep healing. Let go and trust the process. This eclipse is pushing you towards long-term growth. Virgo, March of 2025 is this profoundly transformative month. This is especially in regards to your identity and your relationships and your financial matters. With Venus and Mercury retrograde, 2 eclipses, and the Aries New Year, you are being asked to let go of your outdated belief system, to reassess your relationships. All relationships are on the table, and to step into your own personal power. Mantra for March can be, I release what no longer serves me. I embrace my personal power. I trust in the transformation that is ahead for me. This month is asking you to step into confidence. It's to release your past limitations. It's trusting that these new beginnings are just on the horizon. March is setting the foundation for a stronger, more empowered you. Embrace the change. So for Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Libra, this is going to be a month for you of relationship shifts, self-discovery, and transformation. So the March is like going to be this game-changing month for you, because you're going to have major shifts in partnerships, relationships, self-reflection, deep transformation. The Pisces Aries area of your life is activating your 6th and your 7th houses, emphasizing your daily routines, your health, your wellness patterns. How do you balance your personal and your relationship needs? With Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and 2 eclipses this month, it's you reevaluating your commitments, letting go of outdated relationship patterns, you stepping into this new era of personal and relationship empowerment for yourself. I want to first talk about Venus retrograde. It's going to be, she's starting off in Aries, and then she'll dip back into your 6th house. And so Venus is your ruling planet. And when she stations retrograde, it's highly personal, and it's a transformative transit for you. And so from March 1st to the 20th, this is going to influence your 7th house. If the 1st house is you, the 7th house is you with everybody else. Partnership, marriage, contracts, collaborations. It's you and everybody else. And so it's you reassessing your relationships, you rethinking your commitments, or your experience of the return of past partners. And it's a time for you to ask, are my relationships supporting my growth? And then Venus is going to then move into the sign of Pisces on March 21st to the 12th. Now, moving from into your 6th house of your daily routines, your work, your health, your habits, Venus now urges you to have this review of your work-life balance, your wellness routines. How do you care for yourself? The opportunities and challenges that can come from this is Venus retrograde is asking you to reassess your personal and your professional relationships. Are they healthy? Are they balanced? Is this a give and take relationship? Healing your past relationship wounds. If an ex resurfaces, be mindful of the old patterns of a reason of why they're an ex, whether it's an ex-lover or an ex-friend. Reevaluating your work-life balance. Do your day-to-day habits, do they support your well-being? Avoid major commitments in love and business, if at all possible, because clarity for this is going to come after Venus goes direct. Be honest about what are your needs in a relationship. Avoid settling or forcing connections. You don't want the breadcrumbs. This is you prioritizing self-care, your health, your work routines. They need to be readjusted. If financial or legal matters that involving others, they now resurface. This is you reviewing these contracts very carefully. Then I want to bring up our first eclipse, and this is going to be a lunar eclipse on March 14th at 23 degrees of the sign of Virgo. Now this is your 12th house, so you can also look to see if you have 3 degrees planets or 3 degrees on either side of it. This is a full moon. A full moon lunar eclipse is going to be activating your 12th house of endings, subconscious healing, hidden matters, secrets, making this really a deeply introspective and emotional time for you. The impact for you can be a major emotional or spiritual breakthrough that can come at this time. Hidden truths can come to light. The 12th house is the house of hospitalization. It's the house of addictions, but it's also where we connect to divine and the source. So you might be called to release toxic habits or emotional baggage or fears that are holding you back. This is going to be a time of deep rest and reflection and a recalibration in a preparation for you to have new beginnings. There can be an ending or a culmination of a long-standing issue that now occurs. And so like an understanding of or a release of. And so you can look at this as, are my subconscious fears holding me back from happiness within relationships? Am I ignoring red flags or avoiding these necessary endings or closures that need to happen? How can I create more balance between solitude and connection? Allow yourself time to rest. This eclipse is about healing and closure for you. If you feel drained, definitely prioritize your mental health and avoid overworking. Trust that letting go of the past is necessary for your next chapter. Now, on the same day, I want to talk about Mercury. Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde right here. And so Mercury is the planet of communication and thinking, and stationing retrograde on the same day as this lunar eclipse. It amplifies relationship and work-related confusion. So from March 14th to the 24th, it's going to be in your 7th house. This is the house of you plus others. So relationship communications or delays in commitments or contracts or revisiting old relationship dynamics. Be mindful of any misunderstandings with partners, whether it's like personal or professional. Then on March 25th to April 7th, it will retrograde into the sign of Pisces, your 6th house. There can be work projects or that experience delays or health-related concerns that you now need to take a second look at. Be mindful of miscommunications in the workplace or with doctors or caregivers. Avoid jumping to conclusions within relationships or partnerships. Wait for clarity to return. Double check all contracts, all agreements, because delays are likely during this time. If an old health issue resurfaces, address it properly and immediately, rather than just ignoring the red signs or the red flags. Then I want to talk about March 21st. The sun is now going to move into the sign of Aries. So again, we're still focused on this area. The sun is going to move up into, and the sun moving into ingressing into the sign of Aries is the beginning of a new astrological cycle for you. It's in your 7th house of relationships and commitments with business and personal and professional. And so there could be this new clarity within relationships. This is a fresh start for relationship dynamics. You might feel this strong need or urge for independence within partnerships. There can be opportunities for new contracts or collaborations, or romantic connections could reemerge. Remember that Mercury is still retrograde. And so this is, how do I balance independence with commitment? And how can I maintain harmony? How do I step into leadership roles within my relationships? And asking yourself, are you expressing your needs clearly? Are you evaluating romantic and business partnerships in a way that, looking at it from, does this align with my long-term goals? I would ask you to have an open mind, have these honest, open communications or conversations, and avoid passive aggressiveness or indecision, like waffling. If you feel unseen in your relationship, advocate for yourself. Use this time to truly define, what does partnership mean to you and for you? What are your non-negotiables? Then I want to talk about March 29th. You're going to have a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So now we're focused on, the sun has come here. We're now having this solar sun focusing on partnerships, contracts, relationships, negotiation. There can be a significant relationship shift at this time, a new beginning, or a necessary ending. Remember, eclipses happen that 4 to 6 weeks ahead of time, and there's this need, desire, this ending. Remember that eclipses, they eclipse people, places, and things into our life. They are basically realigning us where we have fallen off track or gone wayward. And so there can be this significant relationship shift. Somebody could be moving, or a separation, or a disillusionment of. You might decide to enter or redefine, or to leave a partnership with a business partner. Or this also represents clients and best friends. There can be this bold new chapter of how you relate to others and how do you assert yourself within relationships and partnerships. There can be unexpected relationship opportunities that can now emerge, but be open and be cautious at this time. There can be a fresh start in your relationships because this can be a time of a renewal. There's this need for balancing autonomy with connection, and you not losing yourself in the connection that you have with other people. If a relationship ends, trust that creating space for something better is the end, is the goal. Set clear boundaries. Be intentional with relationship choices. Avoid rushing into these new commitments and allow things to unfold naturally. Pay attention to how other people treat you. Are they supporting your growth? So Libra, March 2025 is going to be this pivotal month of self-discovery. It's about relationship assessment. It's deep healing. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses here, you are being asked to redefine, how do you show up in partnership? How do you show up with other people? How do you heal your emotional wounds? How do you step into a greater awareness? A mantra for March can be, I honor my relationships by staying true to myself. I can set the boundaries and embrace these new beginnings with confidence. This month is setting the stage for a powerful new cycle in relationships, self-care, and personal empowerment for you. Trust that the changes that are happening are stepping forward with courage and authenticity of, this is my direction. This is where I need to go. So Libra, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Scorpio, this March 2025 is going to mean a transformation within romance, work, and your own personal growth. So let's take a look at it on the chart. This area, your 5th and 6th house is going to be highly activated, and your 11th house. So 2025 bringing deeply transformative energy, focusing on creativity, relationships, career, health. This Pisces Aries transition, it activates your 5th and your 6th house. It brings a shift in love, in self-expression, your day-to-day routines, your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. Now you're going to have Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and 2 eclipses. It's asking you to reassess your priorities, for you to heal old wounds, to align with what are your true passions. The universe is calling you to release your past and to truly embrace a more healthy, fulfilling lifestyle. I want to start with Venus. Venus here is going to retrograde through these 2 houses. And so Venus, she's the goddess of love and beauty, money, resources, finances. And so when she stations retrograde, she's urging you to reevaluate your relationships, your self-expression, your day-to-day habits. When Venus retrogrades on March 1st to the 20th, this will influence your 6th house of your day-to-day habits, your routines, balancing home and career. You might feel the need to reevaluate your job satisfaction or your work-life balance, your personal well-being. Be mindful of burnout or of overworking or overcommitting to things, because this is a time to create some healthier habits for yourself. Now then, Venus is going to move into the sign of Pisces. This is your 5th house. This will be from March 21st to April 12th. As Venus moves into the house of love and romance and creativity and joy and children, it brings this opportunity for deep reflection on passion projects or how you express yourself. There can be old flames or creative inspirations or projects that can now resurface. And so this is you reevaluating your work-life balance, asking yourself, am I prioritizing my well-being over my productivity? How do I heal past wounds? Do I need closure from an old love? How do I reconnect with creative passions? Have you been neglecting your own inner artist, your own creative spirit with art and beauty and music? It's the house of joy. The 5th house is the house of what brings me pleasure. And I'm encouraging you to avoid impulse decisions in relationships or in finances during this time. Reflect before taking action. If you are feeling uninspired at work, look for ways that you can bring more passion in your day-to-day life. If a relationship, a past relationship, does resurface, ask yourself if they are truly aligned with your growth of why they are the ex, whether it be an ex-lover or an ex-friend. This is going to be a powerful time for you to heal these old wounds, for you to trust the process. Then I want to take a look at the lunar eclipse. So on March 14th, you are going to have a lunar eclipse at 23 degrees in the sign of Virgo. So this being in your house of friendships, long-term goals, wishes, dreams, it's the house of community and connection with others. And so you might experience this significant shift within friendships. Certain connections, they can end, and then others can deepen. Your long-term dreams might need an adjustment. Or are your current goals still aligned with your true desires? There can be this major realization about the people that you surround yourself that you can now have this moment of clarity of maybe they weren't who you expected, or maybe it's more than what you expected. If you have been working towards a personal project, this eclipse can really bring it to a completion or to an end. Questions that you can reflect on are the people that I surround myself or that are around me supporting my growth, and are they aligned with where I'm going, or are they draining my energy? Do I need to realign my long-term goals to match my evolving path? Am I holding on to outdated friendships or these community ties just because? I would encourage you to surround yourself with people that inspire you and that uplift you. If a goal no longer excites you, give yourself permission to change course. It's okay. Trust that endings create space for new opportunities, for new beginnings. At the same time that this eclipse is going on, we're also going to have Mercury stationing retrograde, and it's going to be in this area of your life. So it'll be from March 14th to April 7th. Mercury is the planet of communication and thinking, and when it stations retrograde on the same day as this lunar eclipse, it brings about delays or miscommunication and the time or the need for patience. From March 14th to the 24th, it will be in the sign of Aries in your workspace, or it can be your workspace miscommunication. This can be with health concerns or unexpected schedule shifts or imbalances that can now come up. So double check your appointments or your work emails, and also your health plans, like missing that email or phone call from the doctor or the chiropractor. Then from March 25th to April 7th, it will retrograde into the sign of Pisces. This is about romantic miscommunications or creative blocks or unexpected delays in your passion projects that are likely. This is also the house of children or not just creative projects. And so all of these topics are up for a reevaluation. Avoid making any major health decisions. Wait until clarity comes. Be patient with creative projects because delays are going to be temporary during this time. If an old ex or an old friend like reappears back into your life, take time to reflect on why they were gone in the first place before you jump back into the relationship with them. Then I want to move forward to March 21st. So on March 21st, we're going to have the sun now move into the sign of Aries. The sun's movement into the sign of Aries marks the beginning of our new astrological cycle. And this shifts the focus from into your day-to-day routines, your health, your mental, physical, spiritual, psychological well-being. And so it's this renewed focus on your health, your well-being. This is a time for a new fitness or skincare or self-care routine. Work matters may demand more attention from you because the sixth house is how do I balance my home and my work? How can you make your daily tasks more meaningful? There can be this need for structure or discipline of how do I get organized and needing this organization because it'll pay off later. Themes that you can focus on is definitely prioritizing your wellness. There can be small improvements that lead to longer, greater success, both mental and physical. And it's how do I refine my daily habits? Finding your purpose within your work. Are you fulfilled by what you do? Start small and work on self-improvement goals because it's consistency that matters more than intensity. And if work feels overwhelming, take the breaks and set the boundaries. Use this time to get organized. March is this time to set the tone that's going to be here for the rest of the year. Next, I want to talk about the last eclipse. We're going to have a solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th at 9 degrees in the sign of Aries. So we're still focused on this area of your life, and it's a reset of your health, your work, your day-to-day life. The sixth house is finding a guide, a counselor, a mentor. It's where I support myself, but also how do I support other people? And so there can be a sudden job change or new work opportunity that can arise from this. You might be forced to change your daily habits. This could be health related or tied to work routines. There can be this need to truly reassess what is bringing you fulfillment in your daily life. If you've been struggling with stress, this eclipse is really going to be this wake-up call that you have to prioritize a better balance for yourself. There can this means that you need a fresh start with your daily habits. This is going to be the time that you want to build a healthier lifestyle for you. Having an eclipse here is in the sign of Aries is I have to initiate. I have to move forward. And it's a shift that can be within work responsibilities, new projects, promotions, a job change. All of these topics can be on the horizon. There can be unexpected changes that come up with your health routine. Listening to your body and making those needed adjustments as they present themselves. Don't resist change. This eclipse is really pushing you towards this better version of yourself. If something just isn't working in your daily life, this is the time that you take the steps to improve it now. Be open to a new work or health-related opportunities for exercise or nutrition because this can be life-changing. March 2025 for you, Scorpio, is going to be this powerful turning point that's going to focus on your work-life balance, your health, your relationships, your own self-expression. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, you are being asked to really reassess what are your priorities and are you embracing a healthier, more fulfilling lifestyle. A mantra for March is, I release what no longer serves me. I embrace new habits and I am creating space for growth. This month is setting the stage for a new chapter in your well-being, in personal fulfillment, and a work-life balance. Trust in the shifts and embrace for transformation with confidence. Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Sagittarius, this is going to be about transformation of home and creativity and your career. All of the focus of March, it's going to be this pivotal month for focusing on your home life, your self-expression, art, music, beauty, love, children, career, your personal growth. This Pisces, Aries, and this Virgo axis, it's activating your fourth, your fifth, with bringing these major shifts to your emotional foundation. The fourth house is the foundation of which you build everything upon: family matters, creative projects, and your love life. And then with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, it's you reevaluating your relationships, letting go of these outdated belief systems, and embracing this bold new vision of what is my future going to be like. So let's start off with Venus retrograde. Venus, she is in the sign of Aries, but she's going to be backing up into the sign of Pisces. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, money, finances, and when she stations retrograde, it prompts you to reflect on your romantic relationships, your romantic partnerships, your creative passions, the family dynamics. And so Venus in Aries will be from March 1st until the 20th, and this is going to influence your 5th house of where you're willing to take a risk, pleasure, joy, self-expression. You might reassess your love life, creative projects, the way that you find joy in life. There can be old romantic interests that partners that now resurface, and there can be past creative ideas that might demand your attention. And then Venus is going to then move into the sign of Pisces. That will be from March 21st through April 12th. When Venus moves into your 4th house of home and family and your security and foundation, you might revisit childhood wounds or hurts, reevaluate your living situation, or reconnect with family members. The opportunities and challenges that come from all of this energy is reevaluating your romantic relationships or partnerships, asking yourself, are these relationships, do they bring me joy, or are they draining my energy? Creative inspiration, revisiting past projects that can maybe spark new ideas, and looking at any unresolved emotional issues that they come up in a way of looking for closure and looking for healing from it. Avoid impulse decisions when it comes to love or money and real estate. Wait for Venus to move direct before moving forward on any of those topics. If an old relationship or creative passion does resurface, reflect on whether does this align with my growth. Prioritize your emotional well-being. Your home environment should feel safe. It should feel secure and supportive. Avoid any major financial commitments that are related to love and home and personal projects until mid-April. Then I want to talk about the lunar eclipse. Now, on March 14th, you are going to have a lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo. This has everything to do with your career, your job, your reputation, your legacy, your life's direction. And so look to see if you have planets at or around degrees of 23, 3 on either side, 3 degrees either side. And so for you, this impact is about a major career turning point. This is about opportunities. This can be about endings or breakthroughs that can now arise. Remember, eclipses, they eclipse people, places, and things into our life and out of our life. And they happen over a span of 18 months. And so you might be recognized for your past efforts, whether it's positive or through increased responsibilities, like you can take on more responsibilities, so we're going to give you more. Now, if you've been stuck in a professional rut, this eclipse can really push you towards making the changes that are needed to get you out of it. This eclipse is also about balancing your work and your professional life, as it becomes this key theme, like, am I sacrificing too much in one area of my life? You can ask yourself, is my career truly aligned with my long-term vision of where I want to go and things that I want to do? Does it fulfill me? Am I receiving the recognition and the fulfillment that I crave and I desire? How can I balance my personal and my professional responsibilities more effectively? Be open to career shifts, because eclipses literally eclipse them in and out of our life. If something ends, trust that that is the universe ending it, that something better is coming. Take the time to recognize how far that you've really come. Acknowledge your growth. If a work-life balance feels off at this time, create space for both achievement and for self-care, knowing that all of this is going on at the same time as a Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury will have advanced to here and then will retrograde back into your 4th house. So Mercury will be retrograde from March 14th to April 7th. Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, travel. And so when it stations direct on the same day as the eclipse, it intensifies the miscommunication and the delays that the eclipse is bringing. So from March 14th to the 24th, it will be in the sign of Aries in your 5th house. So expect romantic miscommunications, creative blocks, challenges in projects involving self-expression, or topics that revolve around your children or your own inner child. When it moves into, on the 25th of March to April 7th, it moves into the sign of Pisces, your 4th house. This brings into your peripheral family misunderstandings, home repairs, delays in real estate. All of these topics can now come to the surface. So avoid jumping to conclusions within relationships, because clarity is going to come later. Revisit creative ideas instead of launching something new, and look to, if you are moving or making these home repairs or home changes, expect these delays or second guessing, because that's what the retrograde is. It's a second look at something, or it's a, I need to, it's more. It's when it's in the house of home, it's the delays of something that's happening in the way that you're communicating. All right, so then I want to move towards March 21st. So on March 21st, the sun is going to enter into the sign of Aries. So leaving your home sector and moving into your 5th house. This marks the beginning of this new astrological cycle for you. The focus is going to shift to joy, pleasure, creativity, romance, children, and there's going to be this burst of inspiration, creative projects, hobbies, passion. All of these pursuits, they're now going to be revitalized, knowing that we're in the middle of eclipses and there's still a Mercury retrograde. So it's about, I'm still wanting to move forward, but there's still this delay, this pause. And so it's romantic energies that they are heightened. You might attract a new love interest or feel more passionate. Remember the retrogrades that we are in. There can be this desire to take risks and enjoy your life more. Like, have you been playing it too safe? Things to focus on is, how can I find joy in self-expression and in creativity? Am I taking the bold steps in love? Am I looking at what I truly desire for romance? And am I saying it? Am I acknowledging it? Am I looking at bringing more fun and adventure into my daily life? And how do I do that? I would encourage you to embrace spontaneity. Trust your instincts with pursuing your passion projects. Be open to new romantic possibilities, but knowing that we are in this retrograde. So it's, I need to get to know someone on a more friendship level before it escalates to, it needs to be slowly, because Venus is retrograde. Any new love interest that happened during a Venus retrograde, we do not see them clearly until after the Venus stations direct. So let go of fear. Creativity thrives when you allow yourself to be truly seen. Then I want to bring you to March 29th. This is the last eclipse of this month, and it's going to be at 9 degrees of Aries. So again, activating this area of your life. This is a solar eclipse, and so it's a major reset, a new beginning in your house of romance, children, creativity, personal fulfillment, taking of a risk. And so the impact can be on a new love interest or a significant shift in existing relationship status. There can be a breakthrough in creative projects, a new inspiration, or an unexpected opportunity opportunity that comes up. There can be this need to step into self-confidence or embracing leadership within your own life. There can be this fresh start in how you experience joy and pleasure and self-expression with art, music, or creativity. There can be this fresh start in romance because if you've been waiting for a change, this can be it. But it's going to be a slow and steady, like eclipses eclipse people, places, and things in our life and out of our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. There can be this creative breakthrough with new ideas, artistic pursuits, a passion project could now emerge. There can be a call to embrace your own authenticity, to stop holding back with your creative voice. I encourage you to follow your heart. This is going to be a time for bold choices and fearless self-expression. Remember, it's in the sign of Aries. Be bold, be fearless. If it's a romantic connection that deepens, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Say yes to these new experiences. This eclipse is pushing you towards your own personal joy and pleasure. March 2025 for you Sagittarius is this transformative month that's focused on home, romance, career, and self-expression. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, you are being called to truly redefine your relationships, to embrace creativity and pleasure, and step into a more confident version of yourself. A mantra for March can be, I trust the changes that are unfolding. I embrace my passions and I fearlessly express my true self. This month is setting the stage for a powerful new cycle in love, creativity, and personal joy for you. Embrace it fully. So Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Capricorn, March of 2025 is going to be transformation in communication, in home, and career for you. The areas that we're going to focus on are your 3rd and 4th house. It's going to be a pivotal month for communication and home life with Pisces and Aries here, and your career breakthroughs, because this Pisces Aries transition activates your 3rd and 4th houses, bringing major shifts within your mindset, within your family matters. This could be real estate, property, or emotional security. With Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and 2 eclipses, you are being called to reassess the patterns, the way that you communicate with other people, your home environment, and your long-term goals. This month is about clearing out of the emotional baggage, of realigning your priorities, you setting the foundation in order for you to have future success. I want to start with Venus retrograde first. So Venus is here and she's going to be retrograding back into the sign of Pisces, and this is from March 1st to March 12th. So Venus, she's the planet of love, beauty, money, resources, finances, and when she stations retrograde, it prompts a deep reflection on your home, your family, your communication style, your financial decisions. And so the impact can be from March 1st to March 20th. The influence is going to be on your home, your family, your security. The 4th house is your foundation of which you build your life upon, your living situation. And so you might feel the need to reevaluate family dynamics or your living situation or childhood patterns that affect your present relationships. And then Venus is going to move into the sign of Pisces on March 21st until April 12th. Now, as Venus then moves into your 3rd house, it's the house of communication, learning, travel, neighbors, siblings, cousins. You reflect upon, how do I express love? And how do I connect with others? There can be past conversations or unresolved discussions that now come back for closure. This is an opportunity for you to reassess your family relationships, looking at, are you setting healthy emotional boundaries with family or people that feel like family? Are you redefining your home life? Does your current living situation, your current home environment, does it support your well-being? rethinking, how do you communicate? The third house is how I take in information and how I disseminate it. And so are you being clear and honest within your relationships in the way that you communicate? Avoid signing any real estate contracts or making any home estate or home related investments until Venus stations direct, if it's at all possible. The advice that I would give you is if old wounds surface, address them with compassion rather than avoidance. They're coming up for a reason. And so the reason can be for clearing it out and for healing. The goal is to create this home environment that nurtures your soul, your emotional well-being. Be mindful of miscommunications and listen before overreacting. Next, I want to bring your attention to the lunar eclipse that's going to be in the sign of Virgo on March 14th at 23 degrees. So you can look 3 degrees either way. If you have personal planets there, it will affect you more. So having this full moon, remember full moons, they illuminate what was once hidden and we couldn't see. And eclipses eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our life. And so this is in the house of travel and education and your personal belief system. And so there can be this major realization about your life or philosophy. Are your beliefs still serving you from when you were younger to where you are now? There can be these opportunities for long distance travel or for higher education that can come up. Remember, eclipses, the energy is 4 to 6 weeks that come prior. So go back and think about these days, these weeks before that are leading up to this. You might decide to complete or to abandon a long-term project that's related to publishing or journaling or teaching, legal matters, or studies. There can be this shift within your worldview. There can be new insights that lead you to change directions. Things that you can reflect upon are my long-term goals still aligned with my core values? Am I open to expanding my knowledge and my perspectives? Remember, the 9th house is these cross-cultural experiences that we get from communicating and connecting with other people. And so you can ask yourself, do I need to release these outdated beliefs that no longer serve me? Have I changed my thought process? If you've been considering studying something new, this is going to be the time to take action. Be open to these new experiences, whether they're travel or education or mentorship. These are going to be offering you this unexpected wisdom. Look to releasing your limited beliefs that are just holding you back from expanding your mind and growth. Knowing that as this is all going on, you're also experiencing Mercury retrograde in this area. So Mercury rules communication, intellect, thoughts, ideas. When it stations retrograde on the same day as this lunar eclipse, it really emphasizes the need for patience and for careful thinking. From March 14th to the 24th, it's going to retrograde into from your 4th house of home, family, roots, foundation. And so this could really emphasize misunderstandings within family members, home-related delays, like if you're working on something, or repairs, or emotional introspection that can now come up. If you're moving or you're making home improvements, truly expect the delays or the setbacks. Then on March 25th to April 7th, Mercury will retrograde back into the sign of Pisces, which is your 3rd house. So there can be miscommunications in your day-to-day interactions with others. There can be tech issues, travel disruptions. All of these topics can now be brought back up. Be mindful of how you express yourself at this time. Double check all of your contracts, your agreements, especially if they're related to real estate or family matters. Be patient with travel plans because delays are likely. If there's an old discussion that you've had with a neighbor, a sibling, a cousin, take time to clarify what were your intentions and to be open-minded to hear what they have to say also in order to clear the air on it. So then I want to talk about March 21st. So on March 21st, we're going to have the sun leaving your third house and moving into your fourth house of home. This is the sun entering Aries. Its ingress is the beginning of a new astrological cycle. It shifts our focus into home and family and emotional security. There can be this renewed focus on your home life. This is going to be a really great time for emotional and physical, like decluttering, like let's clean it out. Let's start fresh. Aries is this fierce energy that wants to start something. And so there's this desire to take control over family dynamics. Like, are you leading a healthy way? And so there's these opportunities to create this new foundation, financially, emotionally, physically, all of these topics, because this is in your fourth house of home. So themes that you can focus on are healing your family relationships or your family dynamics and looking at what baggage needs to be healed and released. What do I need to let go of? What have I been holding on for so long? Now is the time that when it comes up to acknowledge it and see it through. An opportunity to create healing, to create this stable home environment. And so by looking at, does my space support my health and well-being? Am I setting these boundaries with these loved ones? And how do I protect my energy? Reflect on what home truly means to you. This is going to be a time for you to strengthen what are your roots. If there's a family conflict that does come up, approach it with patience rather than control. Prioritize self-care. Your emotional foundation truly needs attention during this time. So then I want to talk about the last, which is a solar eclipse. Now, the solar eclipse is going to be March 29th, and it's pretty big. It's going to be at 9 degrees in the sign of Aries. So again, we're talking about your home. And so a solar is this new reset of home, family, emotional foundation. Sometimes it means a move, or it can be a sudden change within your living situation, like new opportunities or unexpected like transitions, like somebody leaving the home, like a child moving out of the home or somebody moving back in. There can be this deeper understanding of emotional security, like what truly makes you feel safe and secure. There can be a call to leadership within family matters, like setting these boundaries, resolving these conflicts, and possibly stepping into a new role. And there can be a fresh start within real estate or property for you, or home organization, or in your own personal healing. This new chapter is in your home life. It's a time of a reinvention for you. It's about healing old wounds. It's family dynamics that have been challenging, and now is the time for change. There can be a shift in your emotional foundation, learning with how do I trust myself more deeply? And so be open to unexpected home or family changes. It's happening for a reason. They're setting the stage for growth, even if it feels uncomfortable. If there's a living situation that no longer serves you, this is going to be a good time for you to move forward. Prioritize your emotional security. Look to surround yourself with people and environments that feel like home, that can create the foundation that's stable for you to build upon. For you, Capricorn, March of 2025 is going to be this transformative month that focuses on home, family, communication, and what is your long-term vision. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, you are truly being called to reassess what are your foundations. How do you heal from the past? How do you build a future that aligns with your true values? A mantra for March can be, I release the past, I create a stable foundation, and embrace the changes that are leading me home. This month is setting the stage for a new chapter in emotional and physical security for you, Capricorn. Trust the process and build a future that truly feels supportive. So Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. So for Aquarius, March of 2025 is going to be transformation with your finances, your communication, and your self-expression. It's really covering the second and third houses of your chart and your eighth house of shared resources with other people. And so it's going to be a game-changing month for you, focusing on your financial stability and your mindset shifts and your own self-expression. This Pisces Aries transition is activating your second and third houses, bringing these major shifts within what do I need for financial security? What are my personal values? How do I communicate? How do I learn? How do I share this information? With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, this is reassessing money matters, and it's healing communication patterns and embracing this new way of how do I express myself. You are being called to release these limiting beliefs that you have and step into a more empowered, confident version of yourself. I want to start with Venus retrograde. Venus, she's in the sign of Aries, but she's going to move back into the sign of Pisces. And so Venus is the planet of love, beauty, money, finances. And when she stations retrograde, she prompts this deep reflection on your money, on your self-worth, on your personal relationships, on the way that you communicate them with other people. So Venus is going to be in Aries from March 1st to March 20th. This will influence the way that you communicate, the way that you learn, your local connections, neighbors, siblings, cousins, and you might feel the need to reassess how do you express yourself, whether in relationships or in business or in social settings. Be mindful of any misunderstandings. And it can be these past conversations that you had and that they now resurface in order to have to sort it out and to diffuse any miscommunication. And then from March 21st to April 12th, Venus is going to move into the sign of Pisces. Now, as Venus moves into your second house of money, values, self-worth, cash, skill set, all of your financial matters now come under a review, and it's requiring you to take a good hard look. You might experience delays in payments, the return of old financial opportunities, or a need to shift your money mindset. And so this is an opportunity and a challenge are reassessing communication style of, are you speaking your truth effectively to other people? Your financial reflection, are you managing your money in a way that supports your long-term goals? Like seriously looking at your money, your finances, your skill set. Healing health worth, your self-worth issues, looking at, do I value myself enough to ask for what I deserve? Know your value, know your worth, like asking for the raise. You avoiding making these large purchases or investments at this time because financial clarity is going to come after Venus goes direct. Like when she is retrograde, it's a selling off of your things. It's looking at what I have and not purchasing bigger or new. So be mindful with how you communicate at this time because your words have extra weight this month. Review your spending habits like with a fine-tooth comb and look at, are these truly aligned with my values? And if money issues do arise, see them as an opportunity with how can I create these a stronger financial foundation for myself to move forward. All right, so then I want to take a look at the lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. That's going to be on March 14th, and it's going to be at 23 degrees of Virgo. So in your 8th house, you can look to see if you have planets at or around the degrees of 23, like give 3 degrees either way. And so this full moon this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, activating your 8th house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, life, death, rebirth. And this is a major realization about your shared resources. Remember, we were talking about your money, and now we're talking about your shared debt, your shared loans, financial agreements that now need to be adjusted. There can be a shift in intimacy and trust that comes up. Like, are your closest relationships built on honesty and reciprocity? There can be this deep psychological transformation by you releasing your fears and your emotional baggage that's holding you back. Because this is the house of deep emotional bonds, but it's also where we hold our fear. And so there can be this new awareness of your own personal power, of how do you handle control, power, deep emotional bonds with other people. And so you can look at this and say, are my financial partnerships, are they balanced? Are they fair? Are they equitable? Is there reciprocity? Do I have a healthy relationship with intimacy and trust? Or am I working from a space of fear? Do I have a healthy relationship with my partner, and this can be a business partner, a significant other, and family members that we have these deep bonds with, that it's like it's an unspoken. And so this is you looking at what fears or emotional wounds that are coming up that need to be released so you can step into your power and own it. So this is an opportunity for you to clear up any financial entanglements and look at all of the debts that you have with other people or joint finances, and look at how can I address these now? Like, put it on the table, make sure it's clear. If there's emotional baggage that resurfaces, use this a time to heal and let go. It's about healing and renewal. And so trusting this transformational process, because the eclipse is really guiding you towards this greater empowerment of yourself. Now, knowing that this is going on, and you're going to have Mercury stationed retrograde right here over this area of your life. And so it'll be from March 14th to April 7th. So Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, stationing retrograde on the same day as this lunar eclipse, it brings about delays and the need for patience. From March 14th to the 24th, it will retrograde in your third house. So this is expecting miscommunication, technology issues, travel delays. Be careful with contracts, negotiations, and these verbal agreements with neighbors, siblings, cousins, people that you, or work associates. Then on March 25th to April 7th, it will retrograde back into the sign of Pisces. This is your money sector, your skill set, your talents. And so there can be financial confusion that now comes up. So avoid making any big money decisions or any major purchases. Remember, this is going back over. I need to release some things. I need to pay off the debt. So use this time to double check your contracts, your agreements. Be clear within your communications with other people through email, phone, text, and clear in what you're saying and what's being heard, because it's also tone and inflection of your voice. Expect delays within travel and technology. Definitely back up your files and confirm your plans. Review all of your financial matters carefully. There can be hidden fees, or there can be overlooked details that can now emerge. Then as we move forward, I want to talk about March 21st. So this is the astrological new year, and you're going to have the sun now move from your second house into your third house. Now, I love this because the sun's ingress into the sign of Aries marks the beginning of this new cycle, shifting your focus to learning, networking, communication. It's going to be this fresh perspective on new ideas, communicating with other people, networking connections that can now come from this. Knowing that we're still in Mercury retrograde, so it can be slow and steady, but it's still there. It's going to happen. And so there's this desire to express yourself more boldly, public speaking, writing, launching a new project. But remember, we're in Mercury retrograde. Now is the time to look into it and to make that plan. This is a need to refine, how do you share information and data with other people? Are you communicating with confidence and clarity? And are these the right people? Things that you can focus on is learning and expanding your knowledge base, engaging in meaningful conversations that it's about building connections. You sharing your voice with confidence through writing, speaking, teaching, technology. I encourage you to start a passion project. This is a blog, a podcast, a book, something that has to do with a business idea or a business theme. Reconnect. with people who inspire you and challenge you. Refine your communication skills with how things that you say matter as much as what you say. It's your communication style. All right, so then I want to move on to the March 29th eclipse that's going to be happening at 9 degrees in the sign of Aries. Again, it's going to be in this sector of your chart, so you can look and see if you have planets 3 degrees either way. A solar eclipse in the sign of Aries is in your third house of communication, learning, local environment, neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's how I take in information and how I disseminate and share information. So now there's going to be this big focus on a shift in how do you express yourself. You might feel called to speak your truth more boldly. There could be this new learning opportunity. Remember, eclipses eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our lives. And it happens the 4 to 6 weeks that come before it. And so there can be teaching or studying or mentorship that can now present itself. There can be a change within your immediate environment with new neighbors, workspaces, or local connections. There can be a fresh start in business or marketing or in public speaking for you. There can be these new opportunities to share your voice with others. And so this means a new way of thinking. Are you ready to change your mindset for the better? There can be a shift within your daily your day-to-day interactions with others, your social circle, your communication style. It can now change. There's this call to express yourself more confidently, whether in your personal or your professional settings. Trust your ideas. If a new passion project is calling you, pursue it. Speak up. Your voice is needed, so don't hold back. Be open to these unexpected learning opportunities because this eclipse is bringing fresh new perspectives to you. Aquarius, March of 2025 is this powerful month of transformation that's focusing on your financial stability, your mindset shifts, and these bold self-expression for you. With Venus and Mercury retrograde in these two eclipses, you're being called to truly redefine your values, to embrace your voice, to create this foundation for financial and personal growth for yourself. A mantra for March can be, I embrace my voice, I trust my worth, and I align with opportunities that bring growth and clarity. This month is setting the stage for a powerful transformation in how you communicate, how you think, and how you build your own financial stability. Trust the process and speak your truth with confidence. So Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey. For you Pisces, it's the Pisces-Aries transition from your first house of your identity to your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, and then we have relationships and finances. Now, this is a reinvention within your personal self, and it's your financial growth, and it's this inner confidence. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and two eclipses, you are being called to shed your old identity, for you to refine your values, for you to embrace this new level of self-awareness, of empowerment. This month is really pushing you towards stepping into your power, stepping into your divinity, releasing these outdated beliefs, and aligning with your true potential. I want to start first with Venus. Venus is going to be retrograde from March 1st to April 12th, and she is in your second house, but she's going to back up into your first house. And so Venus being the planet of love and beauty and finances and her stationing retrograde, it's urging for this deep reflection of self-image, of your money and your relationships. Venus is going to be in Aries March 1st to the 20th, so the first half of March. This influences your second house of your finances, your possessions, your self-worth, cash, property, your skill set. And this transit is calling for a review of our money matters, or spending habits or your personal values. You might need to reevaluate your financial plan, like to look at where is all your money, to reconsider your investments, to reflect on your relationship with what is abundance. What do you need for financial security? And then from March 21st to April 12th, Venus is then going to shift into your first house of who you are, your identity, your self-expression, your personal appearance. This brings this powerful transformation in how do you see yourself and how other people perceive you. You might refine your style, your relationships, or your personal goals at this time. You can think about this as, are you investing in things that truly align with your values? Are your connections nurturing or are they draining? Like your personal connections with people, places, and things. And you can look at, are you setting boundaries and do you value yourself enough to hold those people to the boundaries? And also avoid impulse spending during this time. It's going to be hard because financial clarity is going to come after Venus stations direct. I encourage you to review your financial decisions carefully. Avoid any major purchases if it's at all possible. If there's an old relationship that comes back in, this could be an old best friend, like frenemy, or personal, like a marriage partner, or professional. Reflect on whether it supports your personal growth. Like there's a reason why they're not in your life. And redefine your self-image. This is a time for you to look at a personal reinvention and to step into who you really are. The next date that I want to talk about is the lunar eclipse. And so this is going to be a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, which is your partnership sector. And it's going to be at 23 degrees Virgo on March 14th. So you can look and see if you have planets 3 degrees either way of 23 degrees. A full moon illuminates what we couldn't see before. And in the house of partnerships, if the first house is all about you, the seventh house is you with everybody else. This could be relationships, collaborations, intimate partnerships, commitments. And so an eclipse, there can be a major shift or a close within relationships, like looking at, are these people aligned with your growth? This could be clients, this could be best friends. There could be a need to balance between independence and partnership with others. This can be definitely a wake-up call regarding relationship patterns, like looking at this and saying, are they serving me? Or are they holding me back? Like looking at every relationship should be open for you to be looking at individually. This is a powerful moment of clarity about what you truly need from others. The actual energy starts 4 to 6 weeks beforehand. So this is an evaluation of sorts. And so you can look at this as, am I attracting relationships that align with my highest self? Are my personal and professional relationships, are they balanced? What patterns in love and business need to be released in order for me to grow and evolve? So I'm encouraging you to let go of toxic or one-sided relationships at this time. Be open to relationship transformations. There could be new dynamics that now emerge. Set clear boundaries and communicate your needs. Knowing that as this eclipse is going on, you also have Mercury stationing retrograde. It will start off in your second house and back up into your first. And so Mercury's the planet of communication and intellect and travel. And when it stations retrograde, it'll be from March 14th to April 7th. It's going to be the same day as the lunar eclipse. So it brings this shift in self-expression and financial decisions, and it muddies the water. It confuses it, like we are not able to see things clearly. So from March 14th to the 24th, it's in your second house of money, resources, cash, property. So be cautious with any financial decisions or contracts or money management at this time. There can be unexpected expenses or financial delays that now come up. And then from March 25th to April 7th, it will move into your first house of self. You might feel misunderstood or question your identity or experience these personal delays within projects or plans. Be patient with financial matters at this time. Double check all of your transactions. Reflect before making any big changes to your image or your personal brand or your career. Like, oh, I think I'm just going to go off and get a tattoo. Pause. Reflect. Expect old issues from your past to resurface, and this is an opportunity to look at it for closure. All right, so the next thing I want to bring up is Aries, the sun ingressing into the sign of Aries. And this is going to happen on March 21st. And so it's going to leave your first house of self and then move into your second house of money, cash, property. And so it's a new astrological cycle. It shifts your focus to your finances, your resources, your self-worth. What do you need in order to feel safe and secure? Now, this is a renewed focus on financial stability for you. There can be these new opportunities that can now emerge. There can be this desire to want to stand firm within your values, like looking at it, am I building a life that aligns with my core beliefs? There can be this push to take ownership of your self-worth, of what do you truly deserve. Know your value, know your worth. Hold firm boundaries. Things that you can focus on are strengthening your financial foundations, creating, the goal is to create long-term stability. Invest in yourself, learn a new skill, pursue your passions, do things that bring you joy and pleasure. Cultivate with confidence. This is embracing your full worth without seeking any external validation from anybody else. If financial challenges do arise, trust that they're leading you towards greater stability. Recognize your worth. Don't settle for less in relationships or in career. No breadcrumbing. Shift your money mindset, because abundance begins with self-belief. And then the last date that I want to bring up with you is a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. Now, this is going to happen on March 29th. And it's going to be at 9 degrees. So again, look at 3 degrees either way. And so a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries is a major reset in your second house of finances, values, self-worth, cash, property, skill set. What do I need in order to feel secure? And so there can be this sudden financial shift. Remember, it's like the sun is focusing in on this area. So there can be new income opportunities or changes within your earning potential. There can be a fresh perspective on your self-worth. Like, how do you define success? How do you define abundance? What does that look like for you? There can be a need to embrace independence within your financial matters. And there can be this turning point within confidence that you're stepping into your power. Know that Mercury is still retrograde. And so it's going to be moving towards this, but it's a slow and steady process. This is a chance to reestablish new financial goals and strategies for yourself. This is an opportunity to redefine your personal values. Like, look at this and say, what truly matters to me? A push to take control over your money, your finances, and invest in yourself wisely. Trust in the financial shifts that are occurring at this time, because new opportunities are emerging. You just have to be open to receive them. Take action towards your personal goals. This is a time to step up. Believe in your ability to create the life that you want. Pisces, March of 2025 is this powerful month of transformation that's focusing on your personal identity, your self-worth, your finances, your relationships and partnerships. With Venus and Mercury retrograde and 2 eclipses, you are being called to reinvent yourself, to strengthen your financial foundations, to step into your power. A mantra for March can be, I release the past, I trust my worth, and I embrace the opportunities that align with my highest self. This month is setting the stage for major transformation in your self-image, your finances, and your confidence. Trust that this is a process that you need to step boldly into the next chapter of your life. So Pisces, thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much. It is your energy that fuels my journey.